Greetings, 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 and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, Healthy Love Night. I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. If you're locked in on TuneIn Radio on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, big ups to you. Locked in from across the pond, One Harm on the radio, top of the morning to you. Big ups to those out of New Jersey, locked in on NIE Radio. Much love to the neighbors over there in New York. They're locked in on Island Worldwide, exhibiting the power of music. Want to say big ups to those on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Much love to those out of Texas. Those locked in on WGLRO, home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show, the People Station, taking it from the sheets to the streets. Big up to those on Oliwap Radio, those on Dusik Media. Big up to those on PEMGTV.com. Hello to my friends on Facebook Live. How you doing? Hey Dora. Brazil well represented. Radio Crystal Gospel. Much love to you guys down there. Come on, Southern Hemisphere, turn up. Big ups to those who are locked in at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment, kevinstew.com. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try. Anybody wants to participate live and in living color, you can do so on kevinstew.com. Yeah man, you can watch, you can jump into the stew pot. If you're wondering what the stew pot is, it's what others call a chat room. But because we're fancy on kevinstew.com, we call it the stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So come on over, kevinstew.com, just jump on in the chat room. You don't have to register, you don't have to click on anything, you don't need to give a spleen, offer a blood sacrifice, give your firstborn, nothing like that. Just go to kevinstew.com and boom, you're there. In the background, the sound of Farmer Nappy working out with Dean Fraser. The track is called So Amazing. Much love to 1736. So New Jersey representing, right? You don't know what you're doing to me when I hold on to your body. Make it rain when you go down. Is that the motivator? I wonder. Numbers to call, numbers to text if you want to lock in and participate. 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. Once more, 773-789-7839. want to say to my segment sponsor, Pulse Media Group. When being in the moment is priceless, give them a call. They can handle your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. Everything you see here on kevinstew.com and more, they can hook you up with. So you have a party, a funeral, a church service, a wedding, a graduation, you name it. They got you. Call them up, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. You can also check them out on paulcmg.com online. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. Tony Culture. Much love, my big brother. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no time like Tony Culture time. Truly appreciate love the link, bro. It's Healthy Love Night. And tonight we're looking at CBD oils. You don't know what you're doing to me when I hold on to your body. Go down, make it rain when you go down, yeah. Yeah, Tony, buy that number there. I'm happy working out with Dean Fraser in the background, track called So Amazing. So, we're talking CBD oil tonight on Healthy Love. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with CBD oil or CBD products on a whole. But ever since the CBD stuff came out and has been in circulation, ever since it got some recognition and legalities, it has been blowing some conventional medicines out of the water. One story in particular I came across recently is about a woman's lung cancer shrinking after she took CBD oil. And apparently the scientists got on board and said, hey, listen, there's some caution that you need to observe. You know, you need to take extra precaution because there are things that can happen to you if you take this product. It's not, guaranteed. So Newsweek had an article, and it reads, I'm gonna go ahead and present to you the article as I read it. Scientists have advised caution after a report emerged of a woman whose lung cancer tumor shrank after she took regular doses of CBD oil. Now, CBD oil, which is a non-psychoactive chemical extracted from the hemp or cannabis plant, is linked to several possible health benefits such as pain relief and anxiety reduction. People have also wondered whether CBD could be used, and this is where the whole wondering thing come about and stressing out conventional medicine, right? Big Pharma is worried about it. So they're saying people have been wondering whether it could be used as a cancer treatment. But apparently, they're saying the link remains inconclusive, according to Medical News Today. A case report was published in the British Medical Journal, on October 14, involving a woman in her 80s who was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2018 after she went to doctors with a persistent cough. The woman, a 68-pack-a-year smoker, was offered treatment for her cancer, including surgery and radiotherapy, but she declined both. So, doctors decided to simply watch and wait by carrying out regular scans. According to the case report, regular CT scans over the following 2.5 years showed that her lung tumor appeared to be shrinking over time, despite the fact that the woman was continuing to smoke and was not receiving any conventional treatment. Now, the Rastas will tell you, listen, we've been informing you about this thing for years. And those who don't abuse the substance will tell you, hey, I have no complaints. As a matter of fact, I do have a friend that, as a result of her pain, she smokes, and she got medical clearance, got the medical card in order to get medical marijuana. And it helps her. But maybe one day I'll get to bring her on and we can talk about it. Maybe we can find some people in the community randomly that we don't know that will come and talk about cannabis and how it has helped them, or cannabis products and how those have helped. Hey, Dr. Jess, how are you doing? Now, going back to the article, the lesion in her lungs was measured at 41 millimeters in June 2018 and had reduced to 10 millimeters by February 2021. When doctors contacted her to discuss this, she revealed that she had been taking CBD oil as a self-treatment after being advised to do so by a family member shortly after her 2018 diagnosis. The woman, who was taking 0.5 millimeters of the oil 2 or 3 times per day by ingesting it, as the case report, the case report authors note that the oil appears to have had a positive effect on her disease, but couldn't conclusively confirm this. Well, isn't that the case with just about anything that comes out of Big Pharma? They will say that it works on whatever it is that you're taking it for. However, there's always a disclaimer. In the event that this and the other thing happens, then please stop taking immediately and consult your physician, or something to that effect. Side effects may include death and a few other things. But it is said to do what it's supposed to do, and it will help you. So go ahead and spend your last earnings on this product, because either way, you won't be suffering from this ailment anymore. Either it will cure you or it will kill you. And I guess that's pretty much the risk you take any which way you slice it, right? Now, although there is clearly a potential for cannabinoids to be used as a primary or as an adjunct form of cancer treatment, further research is required to identify exactly which compound works against which specific cancer cell type, the report states. It also notes that previous studies have failed to agree on the usefulness of cannabinoids as a cancer treatment. Let me pause again for a moment. How many people know that the human body naturally has cannabinoid receptors? And when you think about the fact that the human body has cannabinoid receptors, you have to think about where you would find a substance that speaks to the receptors. Well, you only find one place, coming from cannabis products. So how is it that the human body has cannabinoid receptors, but cannabis can't be good for it? I don't know. Maybe the medical professionals that are listening to us from wherever can, give us a little bit of insight on that. 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. Let us know. Talk to us. Big ups to Mauricio on Facebook Live. Mauricio also hailing from Brazil. Sometimes you hear me play this song, Salvio Rey, and Mauricio, I was contacted about that official release, Celebrate the King, and I am updating my music files just to let you know. Big ups to you, and blessings to you and your family down there in Brazil. Much love. All right, so meanwhile, back to the article. Scientists not involved in the case report have said that while the case appears encouraging, it should be taken with caution. Just like any of the products that you see advertised on TV or you hear on the radio coming out of Big Pharma. Because it's a 30-second commercial and 10 seconds tell you what the product do and 20 seconds tell you all the side effects of the product. So which one do you want to go with? Professor David Nutt, and I hope he doesn't live up to his name, Professor David Nutt, the Edmund J. Safra Chair in Neuropsychopharmacology at Imperial College London, told the Science Media Centre, SMC, that the example is one of many such promising single case reports of medical cannabis self-treatment for various cancers, but added, a case report itself is not sufficient to give any form of proof that one thing caused the other. We need trials for that. All right. People are probably going to get me for this, but that's okay. Part of my job is to stimulate appetite and not satisfy hunger. When the jab, joke, vaccine, stab, they don't call it a stab, no. Whatever it is, however they term it, whatever. When that came out, there wasn't any proof that it did anything good for anyone. It was just said, this is what we're going to go with because we tested it and it works. However, something like cannabinoid products or cannabis products that have been around for centuries, something that the human body has receptors for, is not good for you. Now, of course, everything in moderation. So water is good for you, but if you drink too much water, it will really pretty much poison you. So, everything in moderation. How is it then that there's a warning and a constant warning when it comes to something like this? Things that make you go, Now, Professor Edzard Ernst, Emeritus Professor of Complementary Medicine at the University of Exeter, echoed the point, telling the SMC that while some case reports into cancer and cannabis extracts have been encouraging, case reports cannot be considered to be reliable evidence. One other issue with this case was that the woman had used CBD oil that also contained THC, the chemical in cannabis that causes people to feel high. Okay. This type of product is very different to most CBD oils, which predominantly contain CBD. Dr. Tom Freeman, senior lecturer and director of the Addiction and Mental Health Group at the University of Bath, told SMC. Now, indeed, the case report authors note that it is difficult to conclude whether the THC in the woman's oil contributed to the tumor reduction or it was just a CBD component that may have had a positive effect. Freeman added that people with lung cancer should always seek guidance from a healthcare professional. Okay, I'll go with that. She did seek guidance from a healthcare professional, however. And she also sought guidance from family and friends. And she opted to go with the family and friends option. Is that something that is recommended that everyone do? Probably not. Is it worth a try sometimes? Because nothing beats a trial but a failure? Well, that's up to the individuals that are trying it. Now, I will say I've used CBD oil, couple drops under the tongue, went to bed, had the most awesome sleep ever. Wasn't dreaming for a long time. I even dreamt. Awesome. Woke up feeling great. I've used CBD products as a topical application. There's a CBD cream that I had used before. Works beautifully. People I know have used it also. Awesome. So, why is there this big warning sign that is being put up? Because this woman says, hey, listen, I used it and it worked for me. But there's no warning sign put up when someone says, I took the jab and it worked for me. That is used as a promotion. See, here it is. Someone took it and nothing happened to them and they're fine and they say it worked for them. You need to go and do it too. Based on what? The very same thing that this woman says, I used it and here's the result. I had a 18 millimeter tumor. 2 years later, I have a 10 millimeter tumor. And I started using this product. This is the only thing that has changed. I started using this particular product. So, contributing factor? Yes, no? She ended up with lung cancer, being a 68 pack a day. 68 pack a year smoker. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how many cigarettes come in a pack. But 68 a year. You do the math. That works out to what? About 5 a month? A little over 5 a month, somewhere around there. Any which way it work out. Here it is. This woman was doing all this smoking, developed lung cancer. She didn't stop smoking. She just added CBD oil to her life, basically. Only change. And here it is. Now, of course, one of the biggest sellers of all time has been cigarettes. And the only warning on a cigarette pack, carton, whatever, is this little fine print where it says the Surgeon General advises that smoking may cause lung cancer. That's it. But one of the most lucrative businesses, that has been around was the cigarette business. So the doctors were not on this woman about smoking. They were on her about using CBD oil. Now you go figure. Which one is more dangerous? She's not smoking the cannabis. She's using oil. And whereas the human body does not have nicotine receptors, it has receptors in the brain that are affected by nicotine, but it doesn't have nicotine receptors. It does have cannabinoid receptors. Like I said, you don't have to listen to me, but the information is there. My job, stimulate your appetite, not satisfy your hunger. If you have more questions, good. You're supposed to. If you want to share some of those questions with me, let's bounce it out. I may not have the answers for you. I don't tell anybody that I have the answers. But I have a platform with which we can talk about some of these questions. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. Call a friend. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because the information is good for everybody. Let somebody know. Healthy Love is on right now on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew on kevinstew.com. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to say goodbye to Facebook Live. Use the link that is pinned in the comment section. Come on over to kevinstew.com and let's vibe out for the remainder of the broadcast. But until then, Facebook Live, if you can, come over. Catch you tomorrow. Take care. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first-of-its-kind space
that all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh Baby Let Me Love You. Be Grateful for Life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake You Down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, Come Over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time.
It's our time. You know I love you.
For your love.
For your love, I would do anything.
I'm Falling.
I'm falling. In love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Yes, my people, check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew, where I'll give you a pre-life, brand new, good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance on. You hear that?
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it thing out the thing, turn up the thing loud. Wow. DJ Kevin's Stew have the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line beyond the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's to believe in, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. It's a hot it up. Loud. To the beast. Hey.
It's been a long time coming. Are you ever gonna change? Are you ever gonna to take advice for how I'm feeling? It's been a long time running, and I know you wanna stay. So I think that it is time we live like we used to. Right all around the city, singing with the top down. Let's take it back to when we were younger. It's been a long time coming, so put on a happy face. Grab my hand so we can let all of our troubles out. There's no cares tonight. Take me for a ride. Even when it's dark, never will lie. Even when it's dark and you lose your mind. Oh, right in the moment when your head is confused. Oh, I will stay in the madness with you. Oh, now you're so crazy. Oh, I'm crazy too. Right in the moment when your head is confused. Oh, I will stay in the madness with you. Baby, don't you worry, 'cause you know I understand what it's like to be chewed up and spit out in the cold world. Baby, there's no hurry, as long as you take my hand, we can dance and I won't be the one to let you go. There's no care tonight. Take me for a ride. Even when it's dark, never will lie. Even when it's dark and you lose your mind. Oh, right in the moment when your head is confused. Oh, I will stay in the madness with you. Oh, now you're so crazy. Oh, I'm crazy too. Right in the moment when your head is confused. Oh, I will stay in the madness with you.
I'm gonna stay right here in the madness with you, so don't think that I'm gonna leave you alone, right?
There's no care tonight. Take me for
The sound of Royce in the background. A track called Madness. Want to welcome you back to my segment sponsor, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you bringing her table, her oils, and of course her Healing Heavenly Hands with over 20 years experience. Give her a call, 954-655-9000, or email her at thealater@att.net. Althea only has one request, and that is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Thank you very much. I'm overdue for a massage, by the way. So, in our own little bit of madness right here, we're looking at CBD oil right here, Healthy Love on the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. And thank you for staying in the madness with me, as I'm sticking around in it with you. I'm not leaving you alone, not at all. Alright, so CBD oil. What do you know about it? Cannabidiol is cannabidiol. Let me not change up the name of the product. It's cannabidiol. Is a popular neutral remedy used for many common ailments, and it's better known as CBD. It is one of over 100 chemical compounds known as cannabinoids found in the cannabis or marijuana plant. Scientific name, cannabis sativa. Tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, is the main psychoactive cannabinoid found in cannabis and causes the sensation of getting high. That's often associated with marijuana. However, unlike THC, CBD is not psychoactive. This quality makes CBD an appealing option for those who are looking for relief from pain and other symptoms without the mind-altering effects of marijuana or certain pharmaceutical drugs. Again, just to point out, marijuana is not the only pharmaceutical or the only drug that has mind-altering effects. There are products that are sold by prescription, some even over the counter, that, again, anything used out of moderation has an effect, right? CBD oil is made by extracting CBD from the cannabis plant, then diluting it with a carrier oil like coconut or hemp seed oil, according to healthline.com. It is gaining momentum in the health and wellness world, with some scientific studies confirming it may ease symptoms of ailments like chronic pain and anxiety. So, what are some of the health benefits of CBD oil that are backed by scientific evidence? Tony Culture said that Big Pharma isn't making any money from CBD, and that is why they're not promoting it or why they're making some of the announcements that they are making. You know, some of the disclaimers, some of the cautions that they're putting out there. And listen, that is where I sit too, Tony. I agree with you. But, you know, that's just my opinion. If anybody else has a different opinion, that's fine. Let us hear it. You know, I welcome it. I really do. Let me hear what you have to say. 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. Call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, any of them. Use it up. I'm here. The line is open, ready for you to call. Of course, you can jump into the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com and make your comments there. You can remain anonymous if you want to. You can go ahead and put a name if you want to. It is fine. This is a judgment-free zone, and you are encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. And this is how we do it, by sharing information, learning, and growing. Again, it's a movement. And I'm not here to satisfy your hunger, but I am here to stimulate your appetite. All right? So, what can CBD oil do? Again, some health benefits, and these are backed by scientific evidence. Marijuana has been used to treat pain for as far back as, now get this, some of you might want to take out your calculators, from 2900 BC. Now, take note, we are currently in 2021 AD. 2900 BC is 2900 years before year 1. Please note. All right, so more recently, scientists have discovered that certain components of marijuana, including CBD, are responsible for its pain-relieving effects. You heard me mention my friend earlier that uses marijuana as a result of pain, and she has a medical marijuana card that says, hey, I can use this product. The human body contains a specialized system called the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, which is involved in regulating a variety of functions, including sleep, appetite, pain, and immune system response. Wait, did they say immune system response? I just wanted to make sure that that was what I said as a result of what I'm reading in this list in this article, courtesy of healthline.com. I'm not making it up. You can look it up yourself. The ECS, endocannabinoid system, which is a specialized system in the human body, is involved in regulating sleep, appetite, pain, and immune system response. The body produces endocannabinoids, which are neurotransmitters that bind to cannabinoid receptors in your nervous system. If you didn't believe me when I said it before the break, here is the information. Studies have shown that CBD may help reduce chronic pain by impacting endocannabinoid receptor activity, reducing inflammation, and interacting with neurotransmitters. For example, one study in rats found that CBD injections reduced pain response to surgical incision, while another rat study found that oral CBD treatment significantly reduced sciatic nerve pain and inflammation. Now, I don't know what the rats told the scientists or how they told them that they were feeling after the injection and the oral treatment, but that's what the scientists found. Several human studies have found that a combination of CBD and THC is effective in treating pain related to multiple sclerosis and arthritis. Need I say more on that? An oral spray called Sativex, which is a combination of THC and CBD, is approved in several countries to treat pain related to multiple sclerosis. Not in the United States, though. But, well, not that I've come across. Let me not say nothing in the United States, because I haven't really checked it. Can somebody check that out for me, please? It's called Sativex. Sativex. I've never heard it advertised in the US. So maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Someone listening can check it out. Drop a line in the stew pot, or drop me a line on kevinstew.com. That I just took the number off the screen. For those of you that are listening, 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. All right? One study of 47 people with multiple sclerosis examined the effects of taking Sativex for 1 month. The participants experienced improvement in pain, walking, and muscle spasms. Still, the study didn't include any control group, and placebo effects cannot be ruled out. Are you kidding me? All right, I'll not jump on that one right now. I'll just leave it be. Another study found that Sativex significantly improved pain during movement, pain at rest, and sleep quality in 58 people with rheumatoid arthritis. So, no placebo group in that test either. Now, in summary, CBD, especially in combination with THC, may be effective in reducing pain associated with diseases like multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis. There's scientific proof. However, because one of the tests didn't have a placebo group, it isn't conclusive, if you can go with that. I'm not going with it. I'm saying, yeah, okay, I believe the information. Again, here is a system in the body that is yearning for something that occurs naturally in our environment that we don't readily provide to our body. So in order to get it and put it in our body, there are certain ways. By way of oils, tablets, or smoking. Either way, you have to put it into your body somehow, and then let the body do what it's designed to do. Because there's a whole system that is there that deals with that particular type of compound. So, next on the list, could CBD oil could reduce anxiety and depression. Now, anxiety and depression are common mental health disorders that can have devastating effects on health and well-being. We know this. According to the World Health Organization, depression is the single largest contributor to disability worldwide, while anxiety disorders are ranked 6th. Anxiety and depression are usually treated with pharmaceutical drugs, which can cause a number of side effects, including drowsiness, agitation, insomnia, sexual dysfunction, and headache, not to mention possibility of death. What's more, medications like, well, the death part is not included in the healthline.com article. I'm just adding that in there because, let's face it, when you hear the commercials on the radio and on TV, that part is there. Now, what's more, medications like benzodiazepines, not too sure what those medications are, but these medications can be addictive and may lead to substance abuse. Huh, who would have thunk it? CBD oil has shown promise as a treatment for both depression and anxiety, leading many who live with these disorders to become interested in this natural approach. Hey 1738, how are you? Welcome to the broadcast. Portland representing. Now, in one Brazilian study, 57 men. Oh, Joy, I thought it was you. You see the smile on my face? Yeah. Whenever Joy is around, it brings me joy. In one Brazilian study, 57 men received either oral CBD or a placebo 90 minutes before they underwent a simulated public speaking test. The researchers found that 300 milligram dose of CBD was the most effective at significantly reducing anxiety during the test. The placebo, a 150 milligram dose of CBD and a 600 milligram dose of CBD, had little to no effect on anxiety. CBD oil has even been used to safely treat insomnia and anxiety in children with post-traumatic stress disorder. Comment here in the stew pod: CBD is good for those that don't want to have THC. Yeah. And THC again is the psychoactive component that is found in cannabis. So you remove that and you go with everything else, and it's still good. Those that are questioning whether THC helps in the process, hey, listen. When you go and you get anesthesia, if you get laughing gas, it makes you feel high. I've had laughing gas, and yeah, before knocking you out, you do feel high. And when you're recovering, you'd still feel high. So, what's a little high among a treatment? You know, you take cough medicines, and it makes you a little drunk, a little drowsy. So, again, what is RSO, Joy? Could you spell that out for us? CBD oil, CBD has also shown antidepressant-like effects in several animal studies. Are any of those animals humans? These qualities are linked to CBD's ability to act on the brain's receptors for serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood and social behavior. Now, summarizing this, using CBD has been shown to reduce anxiety and depression in both human and animal studies. So Joy says, I highly recommend RSO to anyone trying to stop using opioids. What are the RSO? What is RSO, Joy? Help us out here. By all means, the line is always open. 773. In fact, you don't even have to use the studio line. You can call on my personal line. Rick Simpson Oil. I don't know what Rick Simpson Oil is. You definitely need to call in, Joy. You can use my number. Use my number, call straight. Leave the studio line for those that I don't know. And even though Joy has my personal number, ladies and gentlemen, this was not something that was planned. So the views expressed by Joy when she does call in is not necessarily the views of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, but because a part of our job is to stimulate appetite and not satisfy hunger, we do accept those. And it is a judgment-free zone, and information is just that. Information. How you take it and use it, that is up to you. But what we do here is share information. Now, another thing that CBD oil is said to be able to do, scientifically proven, is that it can alleviate cancer-related symptoms. And I'll come back to that because here's Joy.
Hey, how you doing?
I am well. How are you, Joy?
I can't complain. I mean, I could, but who'd listen?
Well, you're on air and, a bunch of people listening right now. Who would want to listen is another question.
Exactly. So that I make edibles, and
yes.
I do dose them out. I do the whole math thing and make sure that each individual piece is dosed out to where I'm not I don't give someone something that can create psychosis, because believe it or not, too much of any of this can create psychosis.
Right.
Especially if you're not an avid smoker or you're not familiar with edibles or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend, don't go to someone that says, hey, I can make brownies that'll knock you out. I can make edibles that can give you tomorrow's high today. I am gifted. But when it comes to pain medications and stuff like that, I have learned that making tinctures and using RSO is the best. It's the best cure for an opioid addiction, because here are the advantages to Rick Simpson oil. Now, Rick Simpson oil was created by a man who was suffering from cancer. You can look him up. His name is Rick Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
They told him he's gonna die. So he said, "No, I'm not. It's not my time yet." And he created Rick Simpson oil, and using his own oil, he literally cured himself from the cancer that was eating his body.
What's in Rick Simpson oil?
Okay. The best way to describe Rick Simpson oil is, you know how when you smoke out of a pipe for a while, how it gets all that black resin in it?
Yes.
And then you scrape that resin out,
mm-hmm.
and you put it in the pipe and you smoke that too, because, you're a little broke this week. Rick Simpson oil is basically the same thing. It smells just like it. It's got the same texture. It's a little more liquefied, but it's basically the same thing as resin.
I see.
And they do sell it. And here, where I live, it is 100% legal within the state.
I'm moving to Oregon.
You don't want to move here. Trust me. What's bad for you over here? But with the thing about going into a dispensary, you need to know basically what you're looking for. You do not need to know exactly what you're looking for, but you do need to know basically what you are looking for when you go in there. The attendants will help you. They are very knowledgeable in the product that they are selling. I learned a lot, not only talking to the people that run the dispensaries close to my home, but I also have done so much research and so much studying on the effects of the benefits, I should say, of using THC and CBD and RSO. There are more benefits than there are negatives to this. Yes, some people are out just to get high, and you know what? If that's what gets you through your day without, setting someone on fire and putting them out with a fork, then do it. To me, I personally don't smoke and I don't eat the edibles. It was not something that I ever got into even when I was younger. Right. However, there was a man, that's how I got started. I make pecan brittle, and a friend of mine was telling me how his relative was having a really hard time to sleep at night. He was going through chemotherapy. He couldn't get sleep. He couldn't rest. He couldn't get comfortable, especially after chemo.
Yes.
He could not get comfortable and get any rest. So I said, well, let me see if I can make some butter. I said, I don't know how, but I'm sure if I read up on it, I can figure it out. So I did. I actually went and I got 4 ounces of GG4, which is the strain that I got was 25% THC and 1.5% CBD. And I cooked it down into some butter and I strained it off. And every tablespoon that I used was 300 milligrams. And it only takes 1 tablespoon to make an entire sheet of pecan brittle. So I made him some pecan brittle. And the best thing about that is he could just break off a little tiny piece or he could eat a big chunk. It was up to him on how he wanted to eat it.
Right.
He ate a piece he started out with just a small, piece just to see if it would have any effect on him. And he said it was one of the best and most relaxing body highs he'd ever had. Because of the way I make my brittle, it does not give you a head high, so you're not all looping. But he was able to relax and get some sleep, and he said he really didn't notice that big of a difference until he got up the next morning. He has not gotten up in 3 years. He has not gotten up and gotten out of bed without being in severe pain. He didn't have any that next morning. So there are strong benefits in both THC and CBD in the medicinal area. I mean, let's face it, the only reason why marijuana was ever made illegal to begin with was because in the 1930s, the man that was looking into it realized how much it was going to cost him in the 1930s to uproot his entire tree farm and replace it with hemp. It would have cost him over $3 million in the 1930s. He didn't want to do that, and he wasn't about to lose any money.
Right.
So he pressed for this to become illegal. There is, granted, there are people that do, abuse it, but there are people that abuse alcohol too, and that's legal.
Right.
And that kills more people than you could ever imagine.
People have been abusing painkillers for ever. There are some people that go into emergency rooms just so that they can get that painkiller high.
Right. You mentioned benzos.
Yes.
Benzos are things like Xanax,
Got you.
the tranquilizer type medications.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm very familiar with these.
Yes.
I do have mental health issues. I have ADD, severe ADD that prevents me from being able to stay focused for long periods of time without medication. There is a strain of THC and CBD that can help with that. I have not personally tried it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it, and I'm still thinking about it. And as soon as I stop thinking about it, I'll let you know. But here there's three main types of strains you could buy. You could buy indica, you could buy sativa, and you could buy hybrid. Indica is more of the relaxing. It's going to mellow you out, calm you down, give you that pretty much I don't care what you do as long as you don't hurt me attitude.
Right.
The sativa is more of a focusing. It keeps you focused. But it also keeps you mellow. It keeps you, kind of chill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have hybrids. Hybrids are a mixture of both. And sativa. Now, a lot of times when I make edibles, people prefer the sativa. Unless I tell them, well, hey, I've got a hybrid of a 60-40 blend, 60 sativa, 40 indica, and that's what they want instead. Because it gives you that primary focus when it first kicks in, and then as it's tapering off, that's when you get that mellow, relaxed, I think I'm going to go take a nap feeling.
Right.
And it does take someone that knows the difference between the indica and the sativa and the hybrid and is able to dose it out correctly for you to get the effects that it is meant to give you. Now, and this isn't just THC. I mean, CBD is classified in the same manner because
Right.
it's coming from the same
plant.
It's just different.
Right. It's
kind of like the leftovers.
right. It's the same plant, and it's just minus the THC that gives you the CBD oil. So
Right. Now, I will extract my THC, and then I will take the pulp, and I will then use it to extract the CBD from it.
so you do the separation yourself?
Absolutely. I don't trust anybody.
Awesome.
I don't trust, especially when it comes to my product that I'm making for someone.
Yes.
That is in need. Because, see, you can go to these dispensaries and you can spend $50, $60 and have a little bit of something.
Mm-hmm.
Or you come and talk to me and we can work something out because not everybody's got money right now. But they're still in pain.
Right.
And they can't afford to go to the doctor. And they can't afford to get the pain medication that they're used to taking. And they're dope sick because of it. And when somebody comes to me like that and they've got those stomach cramps and they can't focus and they can't because the pain is intense in every part of their body, now they're going through dope sickness, which is, it's intensifying everything. I'm going to help that person. And I'm going to give them something. I'm going to make them something that they can eat and relax and go to sleep with. And RSO is one of the best products that is on the market in any dispensary and anywhere in the United States if there's a dispensary available. I highly recommend RSO, especially for opioids. I had a relative that he had taken OxyContin.
Yes.
For 20 years. Wanted to stop because she just felt, it was almost like she didn't know anymore what really hurt because she had grown so dependent on that OxyContin. That we could stub our toe and say, ow. She'd stub her toe and feel like she was dying. She just couldn't distinct severe pain from a little tiny, ouch.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to live like that anymore. But she doesn't want to get high.
Right.
So let's fix you up for something different. The first set of CBD products I made for her, she said that they didn't work. They didn't work for her. So I intensified it a lot. I had to kind of take a step back and rethink it, because here we're talking about a person who is chemically dependent on OxyContin and has been for 20 years.
Right.
So how do we fix this situation? I've got to make it to her. I can't get her high. She doesn't want to be high, but she doesn't want to be in pain either. So I did combine the THC with the CBD, but in very small amounts, so that way she's not as as I tell my husband, she's not stupid high. She's just feeling good high.
Right.
So it was just enough to where it was noticeable but not debilitating. And the CBD, I think I used 1,450 milligrams of sativa CBD. And I just made one little small batch of watermelon gummies for her, and she's a relative, but she's now a lifelong customer.
Right.
And there's so many benefits, so many more benefits than there are negatives when it comes to this, that it's astounding that it is not legal at the federal level yet. I know they are pushing for it, and they have been for a long time. But it's almost like, in fact, okay, here's how people think.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work. Somebody had actually asked me about RSO.
Yes.
And if there were any, what were the benefits and the side effects to it. We are having an adult conversation about something that I have a lot of knowledge about.
Right.
Someone overheard my conversation, went to HR, and told HR that I was pushing drugs at work. Now, HR, they're very familiar with me, and they know that I do have a side business, and they know what my side business is, and they also know that my side business is legal here.
Right.
And so if I want to do this on the side, and I'm not bringing it to work, and I'm not selling it at work, and I'm not bringing it into the building, there's nothing that they can do about it. They called me in and wanted to know if I was dealing drugs at work. And I was extremely offended by the question, because I have been clean and sober for 26 years.
Right.
That's part of the reason why I'm very hesitant in taking a step forward in trying this, because I know I have an addictive personality.
Right.
And it's that bit of fear of, what if I really like it? And I gotta have more.
And more.
Exactly.
Right.
And the thing about it is any drug dealer out there will tell you, if you don't make a profit, you can't do your own product.
Yeah.
So, and eventually, at some point, I do want to open my own cafe here, where you can come in and you can get a 5 milligram, muffin, and sit and, eat a muffin, relax, listen to some music, play on the internet, whatever you want to do.
Listen to my broadcast.
I will have that. Exactly.
Yes.
Through every speaker en route. But I just, I do. That is my dream. That is what I want to do.
Yes.
I mean, if bars can do it, if a bar can be open until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and people can get, just inebriated,
Yes.
and then leave their facility with no issue, I don't see why I couldn't open a cafe and sell CBD infused coffee and very low milligram muffins, donuts, little cake. You can come in and buy chocolates or whatever.
I am thinking it's because they haven't found a way to properly regulate it yet and benefit from the regulation of it.
Here in the state of Oregon, it is highly regulated. I had to take a dosing test just to be able to, if I ever make this dream happen, to be
Yes.
able to use my own butters and oils. I had to take a dosing test to prove that I could dose any recipe. So it's extremely
So now you're
regulated.
certified.
No, I just have a certificate that says that I can properly dose edibles.
Well, okay. You're
I
certified.
actually,
They gave you a
I
certificate.
actually, well, yeah, but they don't call it being certified. They just say, "Oh yeah, you can do it," and they hand you a piece of paper.
Okay.
But it's a pretty strong test that you have to. I think you have to make a 95 or better on it,
Yes.
and I aced it.
But this is what I'm
first
saying.
that-
Here it is. They have a system in place where they're going to test you to see whether you
Mhm.
can do what you're saying that you can do.
Mhm.
And they give you something that says, okay, you have taken this test and you have passed it. And it has
Mhm.
this high pass mark. So why wouldn't you then be considered certified? You have a you
Because-
have a document that says you can do this
Okay.
properly.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't have the $15,000 it takes to license myself, and I do not have the $100,000 it takes to license a building, and I do not have the $10,000 per 10 by 10 square feet for canopy.
All right.
If I had that, I'd be 100% certified, sir.
So here's the other part of it. This is the money making side of it. And this is why people that would want to get involved in this are being kept out of it initially.
Mhm.
And
Well,
this
it's
is
not
my
just
opinion.
that. But it's not just that. I cannot go to a bank
Yes.
and take out a small business loan. No bank is allowed by law to give me a small business loan for something like this. Not a single one. Because they're all FDIC. And because the federal government has their hand in banking systems, because it is not legal at the federal level, it is against the law for any bank to give you a small business loan to open any kind of business that has anything to do with cannabis.
So
CBD, THC, anything.
so the people that have these dispensaries open are independently wealthy.
Yeah.
And so
Yes,
the rich continue to get rich.
Mm-hmm. You betcha.
And this is what I'm saying. And these independently wealthy individuals are the same ones that are partners with those in big pharma because, ornithological creatures of similar plumage agglutinate. Birds of a feather flock together. So
Exactly.
they're going to move in the same circles.
And the sad part about it is if people would just stop for a minute and realize that anything that Big Pharma says that they'll give you will cure you, they're lying to them. They're lying to them on a grand scale, because for every cure that is handed out, that's a customer loss to them. Why would they cure you if they can make money
Yes.
off of you?
Right. The health industry as we know it is about treating symptoms, not causes.
That's right. They're not RCCA driven. They are not root cause corrective action driven. They are, let's put a Band-Aid on that bullet hole that you have in your side that is draining the blood out of you.
Right.
And we'll fix it later if we have time. But here's the Band-Aid that costs you $300 so you don't get blood everywhere.
Right. That's right there.
And that is the downside, and that is the side that most people are blind to. I can go into several different branches of that would prove it. I mean, let's face it. I don't know about you growing up, but with me growing up, a vaccine meant that I was shielded from whatever the vaccine held.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to get a bunch more for it to continue to work, and then be told that, oh, by the way, this isn't going to prevent you from getting it. Now, could you imagine, just imagine for a moment, if everyone that took the polio vaccine was told, we're going to give you this polio vaccine so you don't get polio. And then about a month later, they said, oh, my bad, you can still get polio. It just won't be as bad as if you didn't have the shot. So, I mean, it all comes in full circle.
Right.
Somebody is paying for these vaccines to be given out. Somebody is paying for these boosters to be given out. And at some point, that somebody is going to stop paying, and you are going to have to start paying. Well, and your body will become dependent on what is in this.
You know,
I say vaccine with tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Please understand.
Yeah, and you know, they may not have to stop paying, because the same people that are paying for you to get it, you have to pay to get whatever treatment you need to get.
That comes along, exactly.
After.
So,
and I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that there has to be a treatment for something that will come after. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying, given the scenario, last year, early 2000, I said, you know, if you create a problem while you have a solution in pocket, and you wait long enough and present that solution, then you're the hero.
Yep.
And we saw that happen. Some people might not want to admit that that is what they saw happen, or what it is that they're witnessing.
Exactly. That is exactly
this
what
is what has happened.
So, and it's over.
So,
haven't you heard?
Believe me, I've heard.
No, but wait. There's now the super cold that mimics COVID, but the symptoms are 10 times worse.
Yes. So, what are we fighting? Are we fighting a cold? Are we fighting the virus? Are we fighting ourselves?
We're fighting ourselves. Let's just face it. The black and white thing fizzled out. They weren't getting anywhere with that anymore, because we were looking at each other going, what the? You got to be out your mind. We are human beings. That's how we are. That's how we see each other. I mean, yes, there were still those choice few, and there still are those choice few that hold on to that stuff, which is stupid in itself. But, you know, that was starting to fizzle out. People were getting wise to what was going on, because that really only becomes a huge issue once every 4 years.
Yes.
And people were starting to get wise to that. So what did they do? There's a vaccine now, and if you're not vaccinated, you are the enemy of the state, and if you are vaccinated, you're a sheep. So how does that work?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Trap between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly. I respect those that chose to get the vaccine. They did what they felt was best for them. All I ask is for the same respect in return.
Right.
Just like when it comes to using THC or CBD in place of chemotherapy, of opioids, of muscle relaxers, of benzos, using those products rather than using Big Pharma's pill that costs them a half a cent to make, but they're going to charge you $35 for one.
Right.
So you choose to go to the dispensary where you can buy, you know, an eighth of an ounce of marijuana for $5 because they have eighth of a day specials at every dispensary where you can go in and buy an eighth of an ounce for $5, and you can choose sativa, indica, or hybrid, because they usually have 3 choices, and it's usually, you know, one of those 3. What are you going to choose? You're going to choose to go spend the money to see the doctor to get the prescriptions that you can't afford, or you're going to go to the dispensary, spend $5, and get exactly what you need and be able to smoke and or eat the amount that you know is going to help you.
But again, the doctors are saying, hey, you know, some people are saying this works, but there's no proof. My thing is,
when you turn a blind eye, you see nothing. When you walk around with your eyes closed, you run into walls.
Yes.
And unfortunately, because that does not make a doctor money, the same way prescribing me, you know, 10 milligram Percocet would make them money, what do you think they're going to choose?
Oh yeah, they're going with what is going to be bringing in that dough.
Exactly. What is the root of all evil?
Well, it is a root, not necessarily the root. But yeah, I see where you're going with it, and I'm not in disagreement at all. You know, I'm right there with you. And again, I say to my listeners, as I said earlier, and as I always say, you don't have to believe what I am saying. You don't have to believe anything that anybody else is saying that is in agreement with what I'm saying. But it's important that you take this information and you ask your own questions.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and do your own research.
Do your own research. And there are plenty of peer group studies out there, peer review studies out there that will give you that information, that will give you the knowledge that you are looking for. And yes, people say, oh, well, if you go looking for something, you're going to find the answers that you want to find. That's why you look
that's
at
why they
both
went to look.
sides of the coin. You know, if you're only looking at one side of the coin, then you're only going to see that one side. You have to look at both sides. And if you're not willing to look at both sides, then you're not really willing to do the research that it takes to get you to where you want to be.
Right.
And I've learned that. I've learned that over the years, especially with the COVID and the vaccines and everything. Because, yes, if I go out looking for anti-vax and anti-this and anti-that, that's all I'm going to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I went deeper and I started looking at both sides, and I started looking at what was positive and what was negative. And there are a lot of good, strong arguments out there for the vaccine, and I think people that have underlying health issues, I think that people that are immunocompromised, I think those people would benefit from it if it's going to lessen the symptoms and make it bearable for them to be able to survive through it. I think that it's a wise choice if they choose to get that vaccine. But for people like me that are sick once every 15 years, I don't think it's necessary. You know what I mean?
Right.
People have called me a fool. They have told me I'm stupid. They told me that I am not educating myself. And the reality is I am educating myself. I know the kind of things that run in my family, and I just don't see the vaccine benefiting me. I see it hurting me. And because of that, I won't get it. I will probably end up losing my job here pretty soon, because I will be subject to either getting the vaccine or having a swab shoved up my nose twice a week. I'm not going to have that either.
Right.
You want to do a blood test on me every day, because those are available, and you can do an antibody test every day if you want to. And it will even tell you if you have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I will be more than happy to do that, but I'm not going to have a swab that has been soaked in EU shoved up my nose twice a week, because EU is a cancer-causing agent that should be nowhere near your brain, ever. And
that is for another broadcast.
Well, I mean, these are the things that, when I say I research and I study, I mean, I fall down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
And then get lost sometimes. And that was one of the main reasons that I took history, because history, and taking history teaches you the proper way of doing research. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that once I start doing it, I don't stop until
you keep going and going, because there's more and more. And you see, you end up creating this spider web of information, because so many things happen as a result of one thing happening. There's so many spin-offs of it. And those that do not pay attention to some of the history lessons miss out on some of it. And when I say the history lessons, I'm not talking about the ones that you're fed. I'm talking about the ones that you go and you actually look up the information and follow the lines. Joy, I'm going to wrap this up in just a few. I want to thank you for sharing the information about the CBD and THC and the cannabis products that you've been using.
Yes.
Though you haven't used it personally, you have created products that others have used and benefited from.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I have, and I stand firm on it. Like I said, I'm not somebody that uses these things, but I have seen people that do use them, and they genuinely benefit from it in many ways, especially those that are wanting to break that opioid addiction. it's amazing to watch somebody that has grown dependent on something break free from it and know that they're safe doing it.
Yes.
Because opioids can not only kill you while taking them, they can kill you while you're trying to get away from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that is very dangerous. I learned the hard way that it is something that you can enjoy way too much. I learned that when I had my knee surgery, because I can't take just regular Vicodin or Percocet. I have to take out of the morphine family. And because of that, I didn't know that just because I wasn't feeling pain, I could just stop taking them. I learned that the hard way, that in order to stop taking them, you had to be weaned off of them. Because you get very sick and your stomach cramps and you actually feel like you're going to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think anything that can keep a person from feeling that way gets an A+ in the book. So yeah, if you have any questions, brother, you got my number.
Well, I do.
Well, you've got my number, and if somebody wants to reach out, you've got my email address. You're more than welcome to give them my email address.
Okay.
Just in the subject line, put your name, Kevin Stew.
Yes.
And I'll know that it's somebody that listened to the show that has, questions concerning CBD and THC.
Perfect. Thank you, Joy. Truly
thank
appreciate
you.
love you. And thanks for taking the time out to share with us.
You're more than welcome. And anytime I'm available. I'll make myself available for you.
Aw. See, flattery will get you everywhere. You just make me blush.
Much love and respect, brother. You have a good night.
All right, just take care. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't make it up. I can't make it up. Even if I tried, I couldn't. Thank you, Joy, for sharing with us. Let me just quickly give you this other bit of information before we go off into musical therapy and just kind of mellow out for the remainder of the evening. Here it is, healthline.com says CBD oil can alleviate cancer-related symptoms. Again, scientifically proven. It may reduce acne, so it helps your skin. It might have neuroprotective properties. Let me say that again. May have neuroprotective properties. It could benefit heart health and several other potential benefits being anti-psychotic effects, substance abuse treatment. You heard Joy talk about that just now. Anti-tumor effects and diabetes prevention. All studied by science. Are there side effects? There have been some side effects that have been noted, including diarrhea, changes in appetite and weight, and fatigue. Bottom line, CBD oil has been studied for its potential role in easing symptoms of many common health issues, including anxiety, depression, acne, and heart disease. For those with cancer, it may even provide a natural alternative for pain and symptom relief. Research on the potential health benefits of CBD oil is ongoing, so new therapeutic uses for this natural remedy are sure to be discovered if they choose to release the information. Now, though there is much to be learned about the efficacy and safety of CBD, results from recent studies suggest that CBD may provide a safe, powerful, natural treatment for many health issues. You've heard Joy talk about it. If you want to get in touch with Joy and talk and connect with her to find out some more about what she knows about using cannabinoid products hit me up. You go to kevinstew.com and drop me a line. All my contact information is there. Hit me up. You can email me, you can call me, you can text me, you can WhatsApp, Telegram, hit me up on social media. Any of these can work. And I'll connect you with Joy so that you can talk with her. You just heard her give permission for that. Listen, ask questions. Do your research. I had more information that I could have presented, but none would have come close to what Joy just gave us from first-hand experience. And you heard her say it. She doesn't use the product, but others around her have. And I'm still waiting for my edibles, by the way. You just leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging, Joy. Come on, sis. Thank you to my segment sponsor. I didn't do a segment break because we had started talking with Joy. Thank you to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global will act as your booking agent, handle your tour management. They will take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much more. And thank you to my current segment sponsor, McNeil Trucking. Licensed and insured movers with McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. Give them a call, 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. Thank you, McNeil Trucking, for sponsoring this segment called the Musical Therapy segment.
Stranger in love, I'm a stranger in love. Oh, baby.
This is brand new pre-released music for you, courtesy of You Madu.
I'm a stranger, but I love you.
Thank you, Joy. I'll be waiting.
Oh,
the track is called Stranger in Love. His name is You Madu.
Stranger in love, I'm a stranger in love. Hold me, baby. Take my hands. I'm a stranger, but I love you. Hold me. Don't be scared. I need you right now. I'm glad that I met you. This is the start of something new. Come to me, hold me please, 'cause I need you right now. I've waited so long, waited so long just for this moment. Your love calls, being true to me. Stranger in love, I'm a stranger in love. Stranger in love, oh, take my hands. I'm a stranger, but I love you. Please hold me. Don't be scared. I need you right now.
Talk about a stranger in love.
I'm glad that I'm
someone who's a stranger but definitely cares about your well-being. You just heard her.
This is the start of
her name is Joy.
Come to me, hold me please. waited so long.
But it's only because we all care, you know?
For the some moment, your love cause been true to me.
His name is Yu Madu. The track is called Stranger in Love. Brand new music for you, soon to be released. This here
out of drinking alcohol, smoking
is no stranger to the night shift.
Cigarette. Which one is more harmful to health? Look, you know things they say.
That's a real question.
I feel so free.
This is Jadan.
Smoking my weed. Babylon, just give me a ace, please.
The track is called Spliff.
I just spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift.
No, I'm not telling anybody that they need to go and blaze up.
Spliff. Pablo tell them this is one your natural mistakes. Spliff after spliff after.
But listen to the lyrics.
Halukia no, oh Halukia. Hey, yes I, it's a boy Jadan Congo Bongo himself, and I represent for Kevin Stew on the night shift. City and Kamola vibes. Yes I, out of drinking alcohol, smoking herbs.
Much respect, Jadan.
Cigarette. Which one is more harmful to health? Look, you know things they say about you ain't true. I feel so free when I'm smoking my weed. Babylon, just give me a ace, please. I beg you, just give me a breeze. I just spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. Yes, my bun spliff after spliff after spliff. Pablo tell them this is one your natural mistakes. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. I just spliff after spliff after spliff. You shoulda know this is one your natural mistake. Don't worry about my herbs 'cause I eat you now by. No, I couldn't make a day go by before getting this vibe. So you got it. Do no bother try when the THC hit the pine high. Take me to a brand new state of mind where the radar cannot find me. No mining in the cockpit. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. I just spliff after spliff after spliff. Pablo tell them this is one your natural mistake. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. If you're born spliff after spliff after spliff, then you woulda know about the natural mistake. Me need a Jamaican or call you for indica, and if you good me will call you for Z. West brain bubble. From yesterday him say him have a pound for me. I'm a no see a homegrown. I who that a call me past that phone. G Cole in a South Florida a room. Flex FM, Mellow FM, me feel irate. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. Yes, me bun spliff after spliff after spliff. Pablo tell them this is one your natural mistake. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. If you're born spliff after spliff after spliff, then you woulda know about the natural mistake. I feel so free when I'm smoking my weed. Babylon, just give me a ace, please. And I beg you, just give me a breeze. Do we do no legalize it? Nah, do no wrong. So why you no fight it? Bill and spliff and light it. Although me know them no like it. I just spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. Yes, my bun spliff after spliff after spliff. Pablo tell them this is one your natural mistake. Spliff after spliff after spliff till my brain lift after lift after lift. If your bun spliff after spliff after spliff, then you woulda know about the natural mistake. No worry about my herbs 'cause I eat you now by.
The sound of Jadan. On to listen, spliff after spliff after spliff. It's called Musical Therapy, this segment right here, sponsored by McNeil Trucking.
With my head hanging down.
If you were tuning in last night, you'd have heard me talking with this lady right here.
As I gaze into the sky,
She's on the 4th Monday of each month.
I look ahead.
Unfortunately, you won't hear from her again until January.
People said, and look away from
very first release from her.
knows the truth.
She goes by the name Tasha Marie. The track is called From Now On. Yeah, get used to this one. I like it. I really do.
Live a water flows within. I won't worry.
This is her passion right here, you know, playing some music on her little baby guitar. Miniature guitar that she uses. I thought it was a ukulele the very first time I saw it. The track is called From Now On. She goes by the name Tasha Marie.
No more of me walking around with my head hanging down. No more of me asking why as I gaze into the sky. From now on, I look ahead past all the hurtful things many people said, and look away from down to you, the one who knows the truth. From now on, I'm gonna win. From now on, live a water flows within. I won't worry. No more of me in unbelief. At last my mind will be at ease. It's joy and victory. Lord, that's what you promised me. From now on, I won't be afraid. Although I have a lot to be afraid of. Fear ain't the stuff that your spirit in me is made of. From now on, I'm gonna win. From now on, living water flows within. I won't worry. From now on, I'm gonna win. From now on, living water flows within. I won't worry, no.
The sound of Tasha Marie. This is new music coming at you from Kashif.
Let them talk, let them talk, let them slander my name.
My Oh Me, Oh My is the title of the track.
But I'm ahead of the game.
From the album Love On.
Girl, as long as you feel
Now available everywhere.
the way you say you do. You wake up every day, you thrill me, make me feel brand new. I will be satisfied. Ignore the fact that they lie. Count every drop of tears they cry. Cause every time they say we want to come on their mind. Let them talk, let them talk. Let them slander my name. Don't teach us born, them must skylong. Then put themselves to shame. Hypocrites and their fun slander my name. I hear them bark, trying to make their mark, but I'm ahead of the game. Girl, as long as you feel me the way you say you do, wake up every day, you thrill me, make me feel brand new. I will be satisfied, ignore the fact that they lied, count every drop of tears they cry, cause they just can't get my oh me oh my. Let them talk, let them talk, let them slander my name. Don't teach us bark, them must skylog, but rather put them to shame. Let them talk, let them talk, let them slander my name. I hear them bark, trying to make their mark, but I'm ahead of the game.
Just like in my dreams, I take my mama out of the scheme. I wanna travel the world, make her stop at the Queen. I really wanna know how it feels to forget about my bills and my gray sky.
This is the sound of Al Third as we bounce on out of here. It's been Healthy Love right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I do want to encourage you to look out for members of your community as we part company tonight. And remember, your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat or the train, whether you walk, ride or drive, these are members of your community. Look out for one of them today because you never know who's going to look out for you tomorrow. I want to say thanks to my affiliates once more. One Harmony Radio to the UK, NIE Radio to New Jersey, Island Worldwide out of New York, the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com from South Florida, WGLRO, Oliwap Radio, Dusick Media Groups all out of Texas. Much love to you. PEMG TV. I couldn't do this without you. Check out the podcast and the YouTube channel of the same name, The Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Share it with somebody. Catch you tomorrow when we get back here for Real Talk to close out. Right here, kevinstew.com, 10 p.m. Eastern. In the background, the sound of Al Third. A track called Live It Up. It's important that we do that, yeah? Because we only have one life to live. Live it as best as you can.
Life in the big city is where I see myself.
And don't be ashamed of living.
Poverty don't fit me. It is evident, evident.
Because you're only given one life to live, so live it up as best as you can. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a very good night. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.